Right, Coach, your most complete game of the year, but
Yeah.
I know you're going to start out on the defensive end to hold that team the way they're playing offensively. It's under 100 points. How impressive was that for you guys?
It was extremely impressive. Like you said, they're a really good offensive team, and they get up threes, they get out in transition. Our guys did a phenomenal job, wire to wire, really, of just coming out, sense of urgency, getting back in transition, contesting all their threes, and then we've been talking about it, but finishing possessions, rebounding the ball so we can get out and play in the open floor.
Also, a nice luxury to have two guys that can literally take games over. Zion did it in the second. Brandon did it in the third, 18 points in each quarter. And,
Yeah.
Different types of styles because Zion was dominant in the paint, and then Brandon started to make he made 5 threes tonight.
For sure. Both of those guys, Z and BI, they're capable of doing this night in and night out. And it's good to see them continue to grow, play off each other. Both of those guys are great passers. They can see the game. But like you said, it opened up. Zion started it first, kind of in that second quarter, just dominating. And then BI in the third quarter, hitting the threes, taking open shots. And so, we just want to continue to evaluate our team, continue to execute, continue to build the momentum, especially being able to play here at home.
Fox came into this game averaging 32. What did you feel like you guys did well to limit him tonight?
We didn't allow him to play fast in transition. That's one of his strengths. And if you allow him to take the ball out, those guys to take the ball out, and he's catching it, close to mid-court, and he's pushing, it's hard to stop him. And I thought we did a good job of trying to break up his timing and rhythm.
And since you've been the head coach, we're accustomed to seeing Herb on the other team's best perimeter player almost every night. Why did you guys decide to go Dice on Fox at the start and then Herb on Herter?
I don't know. I mean, they both are really good defenders, and it's just a matter of who's taking who. They're both capable of guarding Fox or Herter, and we just decided, we'll put Dice on the ball, pick him up full court. Herb, we put on Herter just to aggravate him in all of his off-the-ball movement and off-the-ball screen. So, but both of those guys, you guys can see, like they're long, they're active, they're strong, they're physical defenders, and then they both are creating more of an offensive identity. So just good to see it all come together tonight.
Going back to Z and BI, we talked all year about their partnership and what they've done to kind of figure it out. Yeah. Where have you kind of seen them grown the most throughout the course of the season as they are kind of working on that chemistry?
For sure. Well, it's something that we're continuing to work on. I've said it before that they hadn't had a lot of time together on the floor in the past 2.5 seasons. And so we're intentional about, in our practices, making sure that we work on, reads offensively with those two guys, especially in the middle of the floor. But tonight, they just played off each other. And unselfish basketball, good to great opportunities. You saw it in the first half where Zion just kind of took over. And in the second half, he was really, feeding BI getting open shots. And like I said, it's what we're capable of doing night in and night out.
I'm sure another thing you were happy about at the end of this game, 38 assists as a team. Just what kind of led to that ball movement and allowing you guys to flow so well on offense?
It starts with us getting stops. When we get stops, we're not taking the ball out of bounds. We're not playing against a set defense. Now, playing fast and in the open floor is our strength. And I thought the guys did a great job of taking care of the basketball and, once again, coming down every time with the intention of getting a quality look.
And we usually don't ask about this guy post-game, but I feel like it's only right we bring up Cody Zeller and the energy he brought. How do you think he impacted this game?
Cody's been great. Even before we talk about the game, his professionalism, he's one of those guys that's still the first one in the gym. After every practice, he's getting work on the treadmill. He's on the bike. He's still getting all of his individual work in. And so when he steps on the floor, 9 points, 9 rebounds in 23 minutes, it's a reason he's doing that is because he understands what it takes to be a pro in the NBA, and he's done it for a long time. So we're extremely grateful and blessed to have a veteran like Cody.
Since you guys have gotten Herbert back in the lineup from injury, you guys have dominated in transition. Been number one in efficiency, I think top 3 in frequency and that kind of stuff. Just what is it about not only Herbert, but the combination of Herbert and Dyson out there that allows you to stay in transition and be effective in it?
It's our ability to get stops first. When you can stop teams and it's harder for them to score on you and their percentages are low, you're rebounding the ball, and all those guys are fast. Herb gets out, Dyson gets out. They're looking for kick aheads to BI and Z if they can, and then we're just playing from there. Once again, having Herb and Dyson on the floor together, starting games, they're both big, physical wing defenders, and they make it tough on our opponents.
JV had 3 blocks tonight, and do you think having Dyson and Herb out there lets him stay in that drop more, closer to the basket? He's been blocking shots more than pretty much any point in his career this season thus far.
Yeah, I do. I think because they're so good in pick and rolls and they're physical, it allows JV to get out of pick and rolls sooner and get back to the basket. So definitely having those guys on the floor is helpful.
Do you feel like this starting 5, you've seen enough for them to just say, we got to keep going with this 5 for a while?
If it ain't broke, I ain't fixing it. So for sure.
Coach Green, do you believe that having Jose Alvarado back there on the court and his energy just propelled this team to have this full, complete game, like really inspired the team tonight?
I think it definitely contributed to it. Having Jose back is a breath of fresh air. You guys saw his energy, his leadership on the floor. All of his teammates rallied behind him, and we're glad to have him back on the floor with us. And so for sure, his energy definitely sparked us.
Do you think having him out there kind of helps where you don't have to ask BI to do so much on the ball, especially in that third quarter? He was doing a lot of stuff like running off pin downs and stuff like that to get to his shot. Do you think that helps kind of take some of the pressure on him having another ball handler in the rotation?
It does. It adds another guy that can initiate plays. Dyson can do it, Z can do it, Herb at times. But now you add Jose, especially with CJ being out. It's another guy that can initiate plays and keep those guys off the ball. So now they're catching it with a live dribble.
Coach, 7 assists for Jonas tonight. His last 3 matchups, 26 versus Cat and Gobert, 22 versus Jokic. How does it feel to have a center that can step up in these big moments?
I'm extremely proud of JV. I feel like with our group, he's had to make the biggest sacrifice of anybody, especially having Z on the floor. The spacing, offensively, defensively, and he's figuring it out. Big time credit to Coach Darnell, who works with him. They're watching film every day. They're figuring out how to get him in spots offensively, and then defensively, he's doing everything we ask him to do. So he's having big time nights, and he and I we just continue to keep the open line of communication going.
Coach, I know Zion's like 1 of 1, but does it surprise you, a guy with like his size, his ability to get skinny and split between 2 defenders and score on the other side of the basket? Does he like remind you of anybody else that with that ability to do so?
I'm not sure, but it never gets old watching Z do what he does, and you don't take it for granted. And we're blessed to have him on the floor with us because he makes our team better.
Does this his offensive output, does this confirm or reinforce anything with Zion's ability, moving forward offensively? Like, just like making, I saw him and Borrego off the side, and he was talking to him, and I feel like he was patting him on the back, like, hey, good work. Does that reinforce Zion's ability in this offense, I guess?
Well, it's something that we all are committed to continuing to work at, and tonight was a great example of, a glimpse of what we can be. There'll be nights that it won't be as beautiful as tonight with 38 assists and 12 turnovers, but it's a glimpse of what we're working towards, and so we just got to stay with it. And even when we don't have nights that are like tonight, trust it, and that's what we're all trying to do. Thank you.
Come right here. Say hi.
Hi.
Say hi. Say hi. No? Okay.
Just how good did it feel being out there first time in 9 months?
Oh, man. Amazing. It felt like 9 months. It felt like longer than that. You know, I had to get the little nerves out. Man, it's a blessing. You know, just the noise for the fans that they gave when I walked in. It's just unreal to me, and I'm glad to be back, and I can't wait to get back in rhythm.
Yeah, that's a really good offensive team. What do you feel like you guys just did well defensively tonight as a team to limit them?
We played Pelicans basketball. I think we did what we needed to do. Obviously, we know how good they are. And the good thing about it is that, you know, we can look back and see what we do because they're gonna come back at us Wednesday, and we got to continue being us.
Excuse me, Daddy. You was calling Mommy and you want me?
Yeah. Oh, you want to leave?
No.
Okay.
I'm almost about to.
Okay, yeah, you can go right there. Mommy's right there. Go, man, you can take them?
I don't have to.
Okay.
And we saw the moment when you hit the three, you kind of looked to the sky. What was kind of going through your mind in that moment?
Like, well, I finally made an NBA point, you know. It's so much emotions today, you know. Obviously been out for a very long time, and then today is an anniversary for my grandma. She passed away 7 years ago, so you know, just have that in my mind, and just how blessed I am to, you know, put a jersey on and, you know, play on the NBA court is just amazing. You know, I made that shot. I was like, just thank you, you know, for, you know, all the rehab and all the stuff that I had to go through just to come back and, you know, just get on the court.
And seeing Z go for 18 in the second and then B.I. go for 18 in the third, what do you think about just the work they've done to kind of make that tandem work and just figuring out how to be better together this year?
I mean, I really truly believe it's not being biased or nothing because they're my brothers, but I don't think nobody could step in front of them when they play the way they need to play. You know, B.I. he worked so hard. He showed me a lot of ways of just being prepared for games and just how to go out there. And then Z just got that, showed me that mentality like, yeah, I'm gonna work out and do all this, but I know when I'm going that court and when the lights is on, no one can mess with me. So just want those guys just going and doing what they do. You know, they make our team. You know, they play like that. It's really hard to beat us because then we got guys right behind them, and we're going to all go through a wall for those two guys. You know, especially when CJ come back. We got whole guys that's willing to just go through brick walls for them. So I think that's a perfect match for us.
And you saw how low the team was during that losing streak. What was the key to kind of get past that and get to where y'all are now?
I mean, it's, you know, the NBA. You know, you're going to lose some, you're going to win some. You got to learn. And, you know, we learned last year, don't lose a lot of games or you're going to be in a situation you don't want to be. So we got to take every game seriously and, you know, win as much because this Western Conference is tough, man. You know, you can win a lot of games and you be AC, 9C, and you don't want to be there. You want to be where you could get that bye or something like that.
I know you already talked about hitting that three, but, you know, just coming off that ghost screen, Z finding you, did it feel like, oh, we're back to where we were a little bit, like, hey, this feels familiar, this feels good?
Yeah, you know, again, in my back of my right, I think my first two touch of the basketball, I turned the ball over, so I got to go look at that and say what the hell I'm doing. But, you know, I went to the bench, and every coach and all the players was like, hey, you good. You know, this is your first 9 months playing 5-on-5 basketball against somebody else, so it's pretty good. And, but, you know, one thing I tell you about these superstars that we got, man, B.I. and Z literally told me in the timeout, I'm looking for you. You know, we're going to get you back in rhythm. We gonna get you there, and we're going to need you there. So, and I just rolled it. You know, he kept, obviously, you keep on, if you look at the clip, he kept on trying to find me in every way. So, you know, like I said, I'm blessed for those guys to try to find me in a situation to be who I am.
You talk about those superstars. One in particular, Brandon, went 5 for 5 from 3 tonight. The bench went crazy when he was knocking them down. Like, what does that feel like when your guy, you know, he's mid-range, he's a maestro?
He need to shoot a lot more. You know, he work every day. If you go look at him, I know y'all come into practice and y'all see media, what he doing in that right side basket, shooting three. So he's just working, man. We so happy for him. And when he making those, I think he's really unstoppable because, you know, he could take it to the rim, mid-range, and then those threes fall, you know. But he works really hard on it, so when he shoots them, we're glad. Hey, if he miss those 5, I still want him to shoot 5 more, and I think that's where the whole team is at.
Jose, this team's getting better every year. Jordan Hawkins, as a rookie, is averaging 14 points per game. How excited are you to play next to him?
He gonna make my job a lot easier. I'll tell you this much. I could tell the whole team whenever I'm going to pick and roll, I'm putting him there. If you're gonna either help, I'm hitting him. If not, he's gonna make me look good. So those guys, like what he's doing at a high level, is really good. Definitely in my eyes, one of the best rookies in his class for sure. And he got to improve. I think he came in the right situation and he helping us for who he is.
Jose, first off, welcome back.
Thank you.
And also, want to pass on my condolences as well.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
And I just want to go ahead and ask, like, just the timing is just crazy with just everything. You coming back, and just tell me, how did it feel just having all these fans just come out and support you when you came back out on the court?
Oh man, I can't express how I feel. It's like they show so much appreciation that I want to go do so much more for them. So I appreciate them so much, and
Excuse me, Dad.
What?
Can I get some soap?
You what?
Soap.
Okay, go with mommy. I mean, the fans are the best. I mean, I think they make me want to just do so much better for myself, especially it's just New Orleans. Like, New Orleans is a special place, and like I said, hearing the noise, I can't wait to get back in rhythm and start screaming with them, man. And, it's just be in my and this is like a place that I always want to be at.
Does it today feel like one of the longest days of your life? Couldn't wait for the game to start? And how
Yeah.
did you feel that time?
I mean, like, people were scared to admit it, but I was definitely not nervous in a scared way, but definitely nervous to be excited. I think I'm in my house and I'm telling, my fiance and my kids, like, my stomach hurt. And this is 2 days before I'm playing them. And they're like, oh, she's like, you nervous? And I'm trying to play it off like, nah, I'm not. But I'm definitely was a little bit. And I'm glad I got it out. I love this game so much. And it was away from me for 9 months. And finally to get back in a little bit on the court. So it feels good. Like, I'm so excited about to go to practice tomorrow and just get back in that rhythm. And it's nothing like the game. Definitely got a little nervous with the, obviously, 2 turnovers. And then I started getting back to who I was.
Yeah, and after those 2 turnovers, I think then you had, 5 points in the third quarter. And I saw Naji grab you around the head, around the shoulders. Trey gave you a little chest bump. How did that feel?
Good, man. I think those guys know it. They've been through injuries. Everybody that's been through injuries, they know, like, just getting and coming back.
I play Santa Miss class.
Oh, yeah? Okay. But I think those guys know how it feels. And, one thing Coach Casey told me before I started playing, he said, don't get mad at yourself for not being the OU right away. It's going to take time. And I know and I realize that, but I'm going to try to rush that. I want to be back to Jose. I want to get that going. I want to get some steals, But the best thing about this job is, like I said, I don't got to come back and score. I got to just come back and be a solid Jose. Don't turn the ball over. And just be a point guard that, that we missing right now, CJ.
All right, thanks.
Appreciate it. Come on, we go back to the room. Say bye-bye.
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 had been a while since you got into play with Jose. Just what was it like having him back in the lineup?
It was great to have him back out there. Jose got an aura that is really unique. So when he out there, you feel his presence.
How would you describe the aura?
It's an aura of there's a guy out there that has your back and that you got his back as well. And you watch him, how much energy he play with, his love for the game. And it really, like, give you flashbacks to, like, when you working out as a kid, like, man, I want to go to the league. And he still got that same youthful energy to him. And I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox came into this game averaging 32. You guys did a really nice job of limiting him. What do you guys feel like you guys did well as a team?
Come on, man. 2 names. Herb and Dyson. Stop it. You know the answer to that. But I will say De'Aaron's a great player, and I mean he's probably gonna come next game and he's gonna respond.
I mean, what's it like just to have that combo of Herb and Dyson to throw a team right for the jump defensively?
I mean that's a great combo to have, and it's a luxury. I will say it's a luxury. A lot of teams don't have that, so for us to have it is definitely a luxury.
You guys had 38 assists as a team tonight. What's it like playing when the ball's moving like that and everybody's involved?
I mean, when nights like this is fun because everybody touches the ball. You're having a great time. People are hitting shots, but you know, we still got to look at improvements on this game because there will be games where it's a lot more slowed down and we got to execute.
There's a stretch where you had 18 in the second and then B.I. came back and had 18 in the third. How much do you feel like, because we talked about the work y'all are doing after practice and stuff like that, how much do you kind of feel the progress with y'all two as a tandem kind of improving?
There's definitely a lot of progress that's been made, and like I said in my interview the other night, I mean, we both want the same thing, but we haven't been on the court a lot together. So the more we're on the court together, the more our chemistry will build in real time. But, I mean, what he did in that third quarter, man, I was just over there kind of shaking my head like, man, this dude is nice. There was some shots he was hitting. I'm already running back on defense like I'm not about to crash. He about to make that.
And what's the biggest difference between the team you're seeing now versus the team that was going through that losing streak, you know, a couple weeks ago, and kind of how y'all learned from that and kind of are playing the way y'all are now?
We weren't on the same page before. As a team, we weren't on the same page before. But now we're all on the same page. We had a team meeting. We talked about what we want to do as a unit, and that's what we're going to live and die with. So since we're all on the same page, I think we've been gelling together a lot better.
So can you go into more detail about being on the same page? Is it just concepts defensively or working together?
Just who we are as a unit. Like, a lot of it has to do with defensive schemes and just getting stops and pushing in transition, because when you push in transition, you get stop after stop. It's fun. Everybody has fun because the ball doesn't stop and anything can happen. When the crowd gets into it, it just makes the game a lot of fun.
You guys have played a series of like all NBA centers in the last few games, and JV has risen to the challenge pretty much every night. Almost a triple-double tonight. What do you make of this play thus far this season?
JV's been playing really well. Like he said, he's played against some great all-NBA bigs. So for him, night in and night out, to bring the intensity and bring the focus he brings, I mean, that's big for us. Because if he's not focused, then the game looks a lot different. So some small nuances that JV, Herb, Dyson, Naji, those small nuances they bring to the game that really allow the game to open up for everybody else.
There's a back-to-back coming up at the end of this week. Is there any insight you can give us on the process regarding yourself and what goes into the decision-making if you're going to be available or not?
No, I can't answer that. I'm sorry, man. I respect it, though. You got to ask. You got to ask. I'm not mad at it.
Last one, we'll go to Jared.
Double back on Brandon scoring 18 in the third. I mean, he was knocking down some threes. That's the Brandon Ingram that you would like to see on a regular basis. I know he's nice in the mid-range, but seeing him step behind that three-point line a little bit more, does that open things up for yourself?
It opens up things for a lot of people, but in terms of the BI that I want to see, whoever he decides to be that night. Some nights he can go for 40 off straight middies, and some nights when he's hitting a three like that, that's tough to guard, and he'll tell you that. When he hitting a three like that, he's not gonna stop shooting. He gonna let him go. And did he even miss a three tonight? Respect.
Thanks, Zay.
You guys have a good night.